Joe Leigh here for Seconds Out with Mark TIBBS. Start off the year with an interesting side of boxing. The traditional side is not what we're here to talk about today. Obviously, the influence side with Elle Brooke, who you've been with for a long time now, since her first fight. She's obviously fighting again this week. How are you? Happy New Year. Let's start off the interview positive note. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks, Joe. I think it took me a long while to get over the flu, colds, and I had a chest infections. But yeah, I'm holding up. I'm well, thank you.
So what brings you here today, obviously, with Elle Brooke once again?
Yeah, I've been training Elle Brooke for some time now, and she had her first fight, some time ago, and she asked me to help her prepare her for a fight against Faith Ordway in the USA. We was meant to go to the USA actually, and so I gave it some thought, and we knuckled down, and she's in a fantastic place right now, and it's not an easy task because Faith's tall and rangy, but I've got every bit of confidence that we can do what we have to do to get the win Saturday night.
What would you say the main differences are with training a professional? Ebony Bridges is the perfect example. I know her and Elle get on. To Elle Brooke training for an influencer fight, a different level, different scenario, but the stakes are almost just as high because of the amount of people watching.
Well, listen, what it is, it's Elle's a complete novice. You know what I'm saying? So when you ask the differences, but if a complete novice has got heart and desire and is willing to learn, I'm happy to work with them. So that's where we're at.
Do you think that's why it attracts so many young people? Because obviously these influencers, everything they do, they're going to follow. But this seems to have really stuck. They've just signed a 5-year deal, Misfits and DAZN. Why do you think it sticks to the younger generation? Because you have to show grit, courage and heart, like you just mentioned.
Well, listen, if you look at it like boxing pure fans it is for connoisseurs, and you have to understand boxing. It is an art. It is the sweet science, and but if you look at the viewers that view boxing, it is for the as I say, the connoisseur and the sort of general fans. But there's other people out there that like to watch a good fight. Do you know what I mean? A good fight, a good humdinger.
Why do you think that is?
I haven't given any thought to the truth. It could be something like they're armchair fans, and it gets people going, and people like to watch a good fight. Everyone likes to watch a good fight where they with big hearts and wills. And not everyone can do it. It ain't for everyone. But the armchair fans and the general public do like to watch a good humdinger.
What are your thoughts on the future of the entire sport with obviously this 5-year Misfits deal? How do you think that, because it is going to affect the sport whether people like it or not, with shows clashing with traditional boxing fans? Is that going to skew the younger generation from traditional boxing? How do you think that the sport's going to be affected by this, positive or negative?
Well, I think it is going to be affected, but there's horses for courses, and everyone's got to stay in their lane and get in their lane, or if they're good enough, they'll move on to other lanes, and they'll get marketed accordingly on their ability, and there's a market for everyone out there, and it's changing. It's changing for sure.
How do you feel about that, being one of the, you've been in the game for so long, traditional boxing is what you've done. How do you feel about the new wave?
Well, I just look at, I can only speak from my own point of view. Elle Brooke come to me as a novice, and I only gave her my time. I was happy to give her my time because she was a friend of a friend. And then I couldn't help but admire her, and I like her as a human being, and her manager, and it's a job. It's a job, and she gives me everything in the gym, and very respectable, and she's turning corners, and it's a business, and that's what we're in the boxing fighting business, and getting people in balance, in a structural, getting a fighting balance in a balanced way. Yeah, so things have changed, but a job's a job at the end of the day, and we've all got to get a living.
Fair play. Let's talk about Elle this weekend then. How do you think her training has been balanced towards the performance? What do you think will happen? You've seen her in the gym. How much has she improved, and what's going to happen on Saturday night?
Well, listen, as I said before at the start of this interview, Elle, Faith Ordway is a tall, rangy specimen. We're a much shorter, stocky, strong specimen. So to boxing people and the armchair fans alike are going to learn that we know what to do with what's in front of us. But you've got to have the attributes. Faith's team will know what she's got to do against Elle Brooke. We know what we've got to do against Faith's team to get the win. And you'll have to wait for Saturday nights. I don't want to give no game plans away, but if you know what you're looking at, you should know how we're going to approach this fight. Yeah, but going back to Elle Brooke's development, it's been. I'm with her I'm with her like 5 days a week, sometimes 6. So it's really interesting when you guys come in the gym or people I trust in professional boxing and tell me how she's improved. That's what gives me a leg up, and that's what keeps me going. But having said that, yesterday we done a little shakeout, and I haven't. It was just me and Elle and her manager, and Sonny Cannon, our strength and conditioner, was present, and I've noticed a big difference in everything she's doing. So I can't give no game plans away, but when you're working with a complete novice, you have to work on her footwork, hip and shoulder power, her head movement, and she started to understand how to deal with what's in front of her. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant to speak to you, Mark.
Cheers, Joe.
Hope you had a good start to the new year, and obviously this weekend. Look forward to watching Elle fight, and best of luck.
Likewise, brother.
Thank you very much. Thank you.